Hey guys, how's it going? We're here in the basement instead of working on cars today because it's snowing and icy outside and crazy things like that. So we're just gonna build a new server for all the media. What's going on? We got the first person in chat, Iacopo Benedetto. Benedetto? I say that right? Cool. Anyway, welcome to the basement. This is where the new storage server is gonna sit because I don't have a rack big enough for this thing. It's gigantic. It must weigh like a solid 100 pounds. And I figured, what else should we do on this snow day other than get this server out and start building? Also, Winged Horse Garage, what's up? It was good seeing you in Chicago. Thank you for the injectors for the Fiero. That was great. So let's get busy. I have 7 of these 10 terabyte Western Digital drives, and we're going to fire this thing up. My old NAS is only, I think, 12 terabytes, and it's completely full. I'm having issues every single day editing because I can't get this video moved off the laptop fast enough. So we're going big. We're going as big as it is. Let's open up this gigantic box that FedEx just dropped off. And we'll check out the comments real fast. Yeah, just content is what's going on this 70 terabyte box. And it's got 4 10 gig ports. 4 10 gig ports. The network setup is actually right there. If you see it, it's the Ubiquiti 48 port 650 watt PoE switch with the Ubiquiti cloud key and the Ubiquiti gateway, and an old IBM NAS is in there with a UPS, and I think that's most of the network. A bunch of Ubiquiti access points because obviously Unify is always the move. Oh yeah, the snow day is crazy. Yesterday was all snow, and I was bombing around in the F250 with the 4-wheel drive on and having a great time. Today is sleet, which is terrible for the 350Z, and we're waiting on parts. So we got to do something. I figured let's build a server. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to drag this thing out. It's as tall as I am. So it's right here beside us. Wow. It's really hard to open this box. All right. These guys did a pretty good job packing this thing in here. It's on the floor. Yeah, the Audi was the last live, and one of these days it'll be back. I should call them right now. I usually call them every single week and ask what's up with my car. So I haven't called them this week. Ooh, there's rack rails in this box. All right, coming out. I'm gonna break my back. Ooh, this thing has rear hard drive bays too. I wasn't even aware. I hope that she's not broke, is she? Don't be broke. No, it's all good. Ah, these trays are terrible. I don't know if they included screws. Okay. That is the server. Take a look. 36 bays. Super micro. It's going to be a monster. We'll have to look through that box in a minute. Hey, Aiden, thank you so much for your super chat. And your Jag, oh, that's terrible. Your Jag blew up. Yeah, it is the 4U. Yes. The STR is a pretty terrible car. I hated mine. It was fun to work on, not fun to drive. It didn't really do anything well. Okay, here we go again. All right, a little bit of power. This thing's cold. And it's going to be super angry because I'm going to run it on one power supply. I don't know if you guys are, if you're in IT, this is what server power supplies look like. Oh, these are 80 plus platinum. These are good power supplies. They're monsters. Let's see. This is not a Gen 10. This is a super micro, whatever chassis they want to build. 1280 watts. I'm not going to LS swap the Z. Mr. J Blonde, thank you so much for your super chat. A plus platinum is the good stuff. I think I've got platinum in my gaming rig too. So yeah, and my mining rig power supplies are the HP 1400s, I think, with the breakout boards. So if you use these on your mining rig, you know what's up. So, oh yeah, that's true. Platinums are small. All right, going back in with the power supply. And like I said, this thing's going to be mad when I only plug in one power supply. So, all right, power. we're going to need a monitor, I guess, because I do need to know a little bit about the status of this thing. Getting a monitor. 2 seconds here. It does not have a sexy mode. I think it just has always engaged sport mode. Monitor's coming. It's very coming off the test bench over here. There we go. Okay. We're getting there. I'm gonna run this thing on 220 too. Hopefully it helps in some way. And over here, I have the Linus Tech Tips standard. This is Unraid on a flash drive, 128 gig SanDisk flash drive. There's no front USB. I'm gonna have to do this all the time. All right, here you go, girl. This is gonna be unbearably loud, and I apologize because yeah, you guys might not be able to hear after it boots. It's mad about the second power supply. Hold on. Yep, that did it. It shut up. Okay, oh, you're right. I do need a keyboard and mouse. Keyboard, mouse, and where's the receiver for that thing? Oh, it's in this Google server. Keyboard, mouse, receiver. Cool. All right. These are not short shorts. These are just gym shorts, like basketball shorts. I actually could use a really big rack. I don't know if you're in Wichita, but obviously like shipping racks is not ever a good deal because they're huge. So a full 19-inch rack that I could put can't think of the word now. The rails on would actually be kind of cool because I have to put a rack somewhere. Red Dodge. I do want to sell that, and 16 grand would get it bought. I'm going to list it for like 18 because obviously they're worth quite a bit. I'm going to run RAID DP on this, RAID 6. Obviously, I came from NetApp. I'm used to having dual parity. I'd like to have triple parity because 70 terabytes, if you lose it, it hurts your heart. So I guess we're going to run double parity because that's what Unraid supports. Hey, it shuts up. Yeah. Oh, it's got IPMI too. I can manage this over the network. I'm excited. This is the biggest server around here. Will Unraid just boot? It would be magic if it just happened. USB device detection. We've got LSI SAS controllers. This is sick. This is sick. Okay, I don't care if you initialize. There's no hard drives in here. Break time. Watch share go tech tips. Dang straight. You guys know I watch Linus Tech Tips on the daily. Linus is my boy. Email me if you want to buy the RAM, if you're serious. Yes, this is Watch JR Raid. I haven't dropped anything yet. There's some other things I was going to answer here. Yeah, Unraid just seems to be everyone's thing now. So, Bryce, thank you so much for your super chat. I've considered making a dedicated tech channel, but that's like more of a living thing for me and not what I do and like love. I don't know how to say it. Unraid OS, boot. Wow, this is like the simplest thing ever to fire up. You literally just put in their flash drive and it works. So I guess while we're putting in the flash drive, we can open up $3,000 of my life. No, the gas line didn't blow up. It had been off for a long time. 10 terabytes. And these are the Western Digital helium-filled data center drives, HC510s, DCHT510s. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and start ripping these open. It's such a satisfying sound. You guys ready? I don't want to build my own rack. I like to have really fancy racks like APCs or something that's branded by another company like NetApp or something because they're pretty. That's really the reason. Maybe one that says Google with like a big thing going down it. That printer is not awesome. That printer is the worst. It's because of those ink tanks that it's. I used to think it was going to be great, but it's kind of let me down. I do use it for everything though. I wish it was a laser. Rolls will be back in action one of these days, and it's actually coming in the next like 30, 40 days. It's going to take a bit because we had to be able to get on a list. Can Unraid join AD? I don't really know. I've never used Unraid. This will be my first time ever setting it up, installing it, or anything. So I don't know about brothers either. I am not going to be on Car Trek, but I have some Car Trek content coming up with J&J Auto Wrecking. So, check it out if you want. Soon. Very soon. Unraid can work with LDAP. Yeah, we're pretty close to AD then. We're halfway there. Most people are like, what's this dumb box with foil in it? But it was a very painful thing to buy. Tower login. I don't know. Apparently, I need to get on the forums and learn how to use Unraid. Does anyone know the initial login for Unraid? I've not seen the 3070 reviews. I'm probably certified in everything. I have all of the CompTIA certs, A+, Net Plus, Security Plus, some of the others, Microsoft certified, technician specialist, whatever though, in MCTS for Windows and server. Old versions of server now, they don't matter anymore. Is it root? You guys are smart. And of course, it logged in directly. How do you start Unraid now? Is it just on? Because I guess you have to go through the web interface, because I know they're really big about their web interface. It's really cool. Certified wireless technician. Do an ifconfig. You're right. There's no network cable hooked up. I'm being dumb. I was gonna see what happened when it booted. The network cable is right here. I'll pull the test bench network cable over there. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for your super chat. I hope you had fun at LKQ. The F100 is one of my favorite cars. My favorite build is like the Camaro or the Rolls. Those are my babies. I love both of those. And I have like all the NetApp certifications from being there. I was trying to answer all those for you guys. And I don't know. There's a stack. All the VMware certification. Yeah, because VMware is my thing too. VMware and NetApp. We're going to the back. All right, that appears to be the built-in LAN port and not the 10 gig ports. So let's see if DHCP does its thing. We've got loopback. I need it to page through ifconfig. Ethernet 2 up. We might have to reboot this thing so it gets an IP address. Aiden, thank you again for your super chat. I don't have a purple Lambo because I don't have a Lambo, but I guess we could wrap the Audi purple. I'd rather wrap something else purple, something like the 350Z or something. CCNA is the one I never got. I'm very, very weak on the Cisco side because I live for the Unify stuff, and I used to use a lot of Meraki too. No, I don't have ASE. I'd like to go get ASE just for fun and be like, look, certified mechanic now. We're going to run ifconfig one more time and see if that interface comes up. What? That's not a command. Cool. All right, it's rebooting real fast, and hopefully, yeah, you're right. ipconfig renew would have done it. Not ipconfig. It'd be ifconfig probably. It is Unix. I should really just shut this thing down and put the drives in it. I'd love to do another video with Randy. I'll go to Oklahoma City soon. Hacker. I'm hacking. I can't make Bang Bang content. We've actually made a lot of it, but we definitely cannot do that because YouTube. 100% jank. I don't know why you super chatted me. Thank you for helping out all the projects. Thanks for the super chat though. Scruffy Lee, thank you for your super chat. Dottie, thank you for your super chat. And yeah, IT is what I do. Here, you guys want to see some junk? Here's some vintage junk that you've probably never seen before. This is a Google search appliance. Hey, Brett. Thank you for your super chat. And I hope you had fun at Barrett Jackson. I saw your post from there. And Tyler making all the content for Barrett Jackson. Anyway, Google search appliance. And this literally runs Google on your like SMB network and crawls your network looking for files and stuff like that. It's super sick. And then you can just type into like a Google search bar with the algorithm running on this thing. And it will let you search all your files and documents and stuff like that. Unfortunately, the version I got does not have a working hard drive, so I had to clear it and just use it as a server. Now I'm trying to get rid of it. Levi, thank you so much for your super chat. Also, that's an old Super Micro. Yeah, Cisco is super proprietary. Heck yeah, this is my Auto Tempest server. It's really not though. Yeah, we got some more everyday flips coming. How about a really, really hard everyday flip that's coming up that is German and needs engine swapped? So I'm pretty excited about that car though. Rolls-Royce plans, that's going to get fixed. And the new project is obviously that German flip. I don't have any automotive certifications. I just learned working with my dad my whole life. It shouldn't be boot looping. It's a really, really long boot, like the longest boot ever. So am I glad to be out of IT? Yeah, absolutely. But I still love it. Yeah, Google search appliances are sick. And I'm sure you have one of the cool Dell ones. Legally, you should not be doing this without LTT. True. True. I don't miss tickets at all. That was actually fun talking to customers all day. A wrench off between Tavares and I. We'll see. We'll see. We need a place to do that. That's for sure. You guys can definitely. We'll talk about that soon. 286. I don't know if I currently own a 286. There might be a 286 chip around here. But IBM PS2s and 386s and 46s are cool. Obviously, that's what I grew up with. That's what. That's like the time. Well, that's the money was like. I would pull old computers out of the trash, any computer I ever saw, so I could work on it. And most of the ones that people were throwing away back then were like 486 SX and stuff like that. And obviously they couldn't really run anything, but they were super cool to learn how computers worked with trash hardware that like chips you could smash with hammers. And you got to learn by destroying stuff. Brett, I'm going to tell you something. I'll text you later. Super Micros are very solid boards for sure. Is this thing done booting yet? The longest boot of all time. It's done. This keyboard has issues when it's on something that makes a lot of interference. If config. It must be Ethernet 1. No. Oh. What's the rest of the if config, guys? How do I choose a which interface? I tried -int eth0. It didn't work. Now, if config A won't scroll back. It's being annoying. Crimson 6, thank you so much for your super chat. It's going well. We're just working over here. Here's how you solve your if config problems. If you can't see it on the host side, just open up your network scanner on your phone. I don't know. It looks like the ETH0 port, but it might have been if ETH0 is already up. All the ports are up. Yeah, I tried that. Oh, it's because I put a dash looking for the interface. Nope, there's no address. All right, let me look at the let me look at the port labels. Ugh. This thing has 5 Ethernet ports, and I've never looked at the manual or whatever, and none of them are labeled. This is like typical server setup when you just plug stuff in and hope it works. Crimson Six, thank you again for your second super chat. Wow, that's awesome. And Steve Val, thank you so much. What cars have I sold? That's a great question. We still don't have any DHCP. That's not a real thing. E0, ETH1. It looks like I'm on ETH1 because it says it's running. And there's packet activity there. Huh. Now we just need to know the IP. Anyway, I think the last update was actually pretty accurate with what cars I have right now. Yeah, I do plan on moving to a place that's not so residential. Obviously, I plan on like living here, but we do need a place to work. Yeah, that was what I was going to do. Doug DeMuro is an automotive icon, not an automotive hack. Come on. What kind of question is that? Okay, we're scanning the network real quick, and I'm sure I will see the Supermicro board on there. This was about $4,000, but my last one was about $1,500, and it's 12 terabytes, and it's lasted me the last like 5 years. So if you like break that down over time, you know, it's not that much money over years and years and years of the thing running. The only problem is if you lose a drive, you're in trouble. Legit Streetcars is going to come down. We're going to do some more work together. Rich Rebuilds. Uncle Rich is obviously the greatest. I don't know why, but that man makes me want to love watching ads. And yes, this thing would hold a lot of movies, but it'll really hold a lot of, I keep every raw file for every video I've ever made. So if we ever need to go back, we can definitely pull any content up, and it's all 4K, and we have it all forever. So that's why this thing's huge. Yeah, 70 terabytes is actually a lot. I probably generate about 10 terabytes a year. So this should last 7 years or so, we hope. Obviously, I'm going to lose 2 drives. So, and it's going to run Unraid, and we're not mirroring the drives. We're running RAID 6. So did we find, it's done scanning my entire network. One of these should say like Supermicro. Leviton, switch, dimmer, iPhone, tower. Aha! It called itself Tower, which is hilarious. I think that's an Unraid thing. All right. Throw in the IP 10.1.4. Hey, Unraid on the network. Lon Willis. Thank you for your super chat. What machines have you built since 1987? Tell me things. No, I don't use Backblaze or Glacier or anything like that because all of that cloud storage costs so much money. Otherwise, I probably would. Fieros are obviously epic, and this guy, I'm going to finally, he sits there and does this all the time. I'm going to get rid of him from the channel. Yeah, boy. Bryce Regal, thank you so much for your super chat. And solid state storage is obviously kind of everywhere. It really is in the mainstream world. At NetApp, we sold tons of full solid state arrays, which was great. But they're so expensive. Like you're talking about like $1 million for like a 2U rack full of all NVMe storage and stuff like that. Crazy fast. But yes, I know Unraid has problems. Unfortunately, I don't know what would be like the ultimate. Here we go. I don't know if you guys can see it, but Unraid's running. and that's my phone accessing the server over here. Thank you for trying Unraid OS. Server will not be usable until you purchase a registration key or install a trial key. Registration keys are bound to your flash boot device serial number. Please put in a high-quality brand name device, at least 1 gig. Make sure your server time is accurate. Make sure DNS is specified. That's easy enough. DNS is my gateway. Cool. Get trial key. By using this software, you agree to the EULA. Yeah, I read that whole thing. Trial started. Thank you for registering your flash drive. Hey, it is looking for disks. We have a list of disks here. And I'm going to run Pro because it supports 30 disks. And this holds 36, so it doesn't even work out in the end. How's the R8? I need to call him. I will call them right after this, actually. And yes, I still have the Viper truck. I'm going to guess this is disk 0. I really wish this thing came with some screws because we need to do this. It came with literally no hard disk screws. So I might have to go on a mission to the hardware store because I don't keep fan screws, motherboard stand-ups. Unfortunately, this needs flush-mounted screws. Let's take a look. King Greg's time for a drag car build? Yeah, it'd actually be cool to have a drag car. No screws. I will check the box real quick. These rails weigh like 2 pounds each for this bad boy. Big boy rails, because once you put all these hard drives in there, I bet those screws are actually hard to find because they're definitely like a countersunk Phillips head kind of thing. You can see that those actually drop down in there quite a bit, and they have to sit flush because these trays have to slide. Catherine, thank you so much for your super chat. Yeah, I'm kind of into everything. You guys know I love tech and cars. It's because they combine so much. That's really why. You know, everything in cars is 12 volts, and it all just comes down to, you know, electricity and engines. Simple stuff. Ford Fusion repairs? Sure. That's an easy car to work on. I'd be happy to do that. There are no screws in the box. I just looked all through it. I have a feeling we're in trouble. Okay, let's put 1 screw in this. Let's see if this screw fits. It's not countersunk, but it's probably the right thread pitch and everything. Get one of these guys out for you guys. It says right on it, SSD screws. So I bet it's the right thread. No, none of the base have screws, unless it's like hiding inside the server in a bag, which is possible. Eagle Talons? Who doesn't love Eagle Talons? I grew up with a friend that had a Talon, and we took it to a warehouse once and tried to do a burnout, but it wouldn't do a burnout because obviously it wasn't the turbo one and they're weak. So we grabbed a whole gallon of bleach to dump on the ground so we could make it do a burnout, and it does do it after you cheat. That's for sure. A Honda Fit doesn't sound bad. I could do that. Watch Jericho pro tips. The wrong screwdriver always works if it's smaller than the head you're going into. Don't do this at home. It's dumb. That worked out perfectly. Hot swap drive base for the win. She's bashful. This thing, oh, it's hitting the screw because it's not countersunk. All right. Jeep projects on the horizon. You're right. They have the best resale. Jeep resale, just like the whole Jeep community is. First, it's crazy, and they spend all of the money. So I'm totally for doing a Jeep rebuild or something like that. I just the thing is, Jeeps cost a ton to get into. The resale's so high because they hold all their value. Yeah, if these were toolless, it'd be really cool. All right, fine. I'll check the drive base for screws. I really doubt they're in here. Everyone keeps saying it, but this isn't a new server. It was definitely used because this would be. I don't even understand what it would cost new. I don't want to know. Okay, we're not gonna find anything like that. It's taking too long. Let's find it the good way. If not, I'll run to town and get some screws. Oh, they actually put one screw in the cover. Huh. That's actually the correct screw for the hard drives. This little bitty countersunk Phillips. Hey, dual Xeon. The specs on this thing are insane. I think it's dual Xenon, 256 gigs of RAM, dual LSI SAS controllers. I guess we should have talked about how insane this box actually is. That's why it's used, and that's just nuts. Just nuts. There's no screws hiding in here. This might be the most RAM I've ever had, though. I have a lot of RAM and a lot of systems, but this thing's just pretty wild. Is this? You guys want me to ban this? There you go. We at least sort of fixed that. Yeah, the screws were definitely in the trays when it was new. I would love to go to Fastenal and Derby. Fastenal, you have to have an account. We'll see if there's screws in here, but I don't think there are. We're looking. I'm not going to let you guys down here. I know I have some screws that'll work. I just don't know where they're at. Hot swap hard drive bays are great. Here you go. You want to be a mod, Batgoat? There you go. That's a good call. Yeah, I don't know why the Z doesn't sound like a trumpet. It is pretty low. It's probably because only one side of the exhaust is still hooked up. We had to weld the rest of the exhaust. Editing software is Final Cut Pro. I don't know what LSI controller it is, but it is an LSI SAS controller. I forgot. It's one of the SATA and SAS3 compatible. Covering at a giant heatsink over there. I worked for NetApp doing, it's their DR solution for VMware, which is a plugin that we would actually run sometimes as like an appliance, sometimes on a Windows box, and it would, it was really cool. It enabled one button failover. It was a plugin for SRM. It was the NetApp SRA for SRM. Eventually, it was a Linux appliance, which was pretty cool. Well, we definitely don't need this many hot swap bays, and I guess we could probably cheat. This thing's going to hate me if I do this, but I can just slide the drive in. It's a terrible plan. Let's see. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll put all the others back. So we checked every drive bay for screws, and we didn't find them. And we've got 7 drive bays ready to load up with hard drives. Not countersunk. Okay, screws. I have no screws for this thing. I do only need 2 screws for hard drive, but I don't have any, unfortunately. I didn't even consider that these bays wouldn't just be toolless. What we can do is I took the screw out of this, right? This won't actually work, but it'll be worth a shot. There's no way that worked. It worked. All right, let's see what Unraid said. Refresh. No array data disks have been assigned. We got a boot device. I felt that drive spin up. Oh yeah, we got a flashing activity light. Sweet. This is not the way to do this. Don't look at what I'm doing over here, guys. This is a Hemi and the Ram actually would be kind of cool. A lot of people want me to throw a Hemi in the Viper truck and then sell the Viper engine because you make like 10 grand out of a Viper engine. Do I plan on ever doing anything more with the Patreon? I'd like to. It's just a lot of time to actually cover both platforms. Donnie, thank you so much for your super chat. And I am Weasel. Thank you so much for your super chat. Yeah, I figured I'd come hang out, chat for a little bit, say hi to everybody, and just build this computer. Mark, thank you for your super chat. And yeah, no help test. No help test here. Yes, ignore what I'm doing because the screws are definitely not anywhere around here. It will take a trip to town before I can have them. Whatever. All these drives are firing right up. I can feel them start. And it's not like it's any different than a little tray that has sidebars. And then I'll just power it down, pull the drives back out. And put the rails on them. Golf, thank you so much for your super chat. Anyway, if you guys need to know how to get stuff done, this is how you do it when you don't have the right stuff. You just have to do work. And I think we now have, this is the last drive of the 70 terabytes, legendary water bottle. Thank you so much for your super chat. Boom. 70 terabytes loaded up. And they're all spinning. We are good. All right, let's see what Unraid says about these. Yeah, there's definitely nothing that comes with these drives because they're OEM drives for sure. Parity. Oh, look at that. This list. Some of the drives are still initializing, but we, dang, you guys can't see that. Here you go. See if the camera will do its thing. Yes. Okay. Well, those are all 10 terabyte drives. I'm going to start assigning some of these to slots. Parity. This disk. Parity 2. This disk. Disk 1. This disk. All data will be overwritten when array is started. Go for it. There's no data. And now all 7 disks are assigned to the array. Oh, my 3,000 emails in my inbox. Yeah, this server does need a Holly sticker on the side of it. I might have one around here. We're going to use RAID dual parity. Configuration is valid. Starting will record all disk information, bring the array online, and start parity sync. The array will be immediately available. Proceed to start. Proceed. Sweet. Unraid is starting up the array. And I'll go create a bunch of SMB or CIFS file systems. Parity drive not ready. Currently being reconstructed. Well, that's fine. Total size, 10 terabytes. That doesn't make sense. Matt, thank you so much for your super chat. I don't have any Accords right now. Those are definitely all sold. Bar bash for 350. It'd be really cool to have a pipe front bumper. I would actually like that. Unsupported partition layout. Unsupported partition layout. Unsupported. Figure it out. Wipe all these diffs. Figure it out. Close all notifications. Format unmountable disks. Okay, format. All right, in a second it should say 70 terabytes. Formatting. Cool. No, it does not boot with. It's not EFI boot. I think it's like an old traditional BIOS boot, but a really complicated one that's terrible now. So yeah, the rolls will come back soon, and let's take a look at where this thing's at. Yeah, it's 50 terabytes in reality. 70 terabytes of disks. It is formatting all of these disks. This thing is screaming. So this is taking a little while for it to format all the disks. I hope they're like quick formats, not real formats. And it does need a cache drive. I'll put like SSD in there. I've got an extra 1 terabyte SSD laying right over here. Here we go. We got some literal antiques sitting here. Some Samsung 850 EVO 1 terabytes. And I've had these for, I don't know, 5+ years. So I was going to throw those in there to be my cache drives on there. 07 Tundra sounds fun. I mean, there was an 07, 2010 maybe was one I was working on the channel. There's a couple of videos about that. Yes, this is all for cat videos. Obviously, what else would you do with 70 terabytes? You gotta, like, we're gonna do a 24-hour live stream of a cat. I don't have one. And I don't think there's any M.2 slots on this board. And I don't want an EMC VNX because I can't afford the power. I'd like to have it, actually. It'd be cool. At one of my earlier IT jobs, we had a small EMC system, really small. It was like a two shelves. I forgot what it was, but it's not VNX. Obviously, VNX is big boy. 860 1 terabytes are great. My new rig has the 960 1 terabyte Pros that are M.2. And no, I don't have any BMWs. Again, not sponsored by CarMax, unfortunately. Wish I was. Cisco UCS are the greatest servers in the world. Probably the only thing that's actually better than Supermicro boxes. I kind of live for those. I love the IPMI management and everything, where it's all in, you know, one integrated online window. Or 970 Evo, is that? I don't know what I got. And I don't think this supports dynamic drive sizing, but it is Unraid, so it's just like some weird JBOD / RAID kind of thing. Who knows? I've never used Unraid before. This will be my first time setting it up. Automotive knowledge, working with my dad, and then like not wanting to pay other people to work on my cars, so just working on them. 944 coming back very soon. Yes, this is going to hold all of my footage forever, but the 944, yeah, oil cooler has issues. So I made a video about it, and we're going to tear it apart soon. That's basically where it's at. I got to tear it down to see what's actually wrong. Yeah, I don't know about computer content. I don't think it really connects. So I figured if we do it live, we can hang around and talk. And that's kind of more fun than making a video about it. The tractor is basically done, but waiting on paint. There's a guy doing the body work on it and stuff. He's actually body working the hood and trying to make it like absolutely flawless, like a show tractor, you know? So yeah, he's working on that. I have 4 10 gig NICs in this box. I love E39 5s, obviously. I've had one of those and it was awesome. Two of those. I had the Black Sport that was on the channel, and before that, I had another E39 that was flawless, and that thing was rock solid. And I did sell the E39 a long time ago. So yeah, I'm not going to sell the 944. I love that car to death. It's so nice. And yes, I did go through all of the E39 before I sold it. These drives are all 10 gig Western Digital, the data center ones that are helium filled. The Tuatara thing, pretty funny. Some good car drama. That is the plot twist of 2020, right? So pretty crazy. Everyone, they said they did 331, and the math looks like they were doing considerably less, but the driver says that it was the Guinness Book of World Records GPS that certified this. So I don't know. I wasn't there. What do we know? This has 10 gig NICs with 10 terabyte hard drives. I'm not. Oh, is somebody's asking for car repair advice? Yeah, sorry, I missed it. 276 at best. Shmi said 184, 284, right? Something like that. You know, yeah, everyone says Seagate's terrible, but I have a lot of Seagate discs. This one's like almost 15 years old and still rocking. It's like 120 gigabyte. So I've got quite a few Seagate drives that hang around. Yeah, everyone's had a ton of like crazy problems with Seagate, obviously. What was it back? I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it, but there were like 100,000 failures of like sets of Seagate drives back in NetApp. It's pretty crazy. The LT1 Camaro, asking for O'Reilly's. Thanks for your super chat, Braden. It's obviously still here. It's sitting in Gabe's driveway, and we did the cooling system last time, and I drove it around, and it's been fun. So it's just chilling over there because it needs to go inside, and it probably needs to get painted next. So AJ, Braden is my hero. That's pretty funny. Pilot license, still working on that. Break time. Is this thing done yet? We're gonna look. Healthy. Parity rebuild in progress. Why is there even a rebuild? It's funny. This is all running on a single core. CPU core 3 is at 54%, and everything else is at 0. This has so many cores. Dual E5 2640s. So those are 2.6 gigahertz a core, and it looks like 8 cores per chip. I would love to be sponsored by CarMax, but honestly, I just paid them an extra $3,000 for that truck, and they have to fix everything that breaks. So if it breaks one more time, I have all my money back, and I'm hoping it eats an engine. No, so the R8 is obviously the story is pretty simple. I'll make a video about it, but it went down to we got it running. I drove it onto the trailer. Hey, what's up, John Schval? Did I say it right? Good luck with your updates. I drove the R8 onto the trailer after we got it done. I didn't shoot any video of any of this because it was like an absolute rush. At like Thursday at like 6 p.m., we were like, let's take this to Florida right now. Something like that, right? Yeah, I used to work for a storage company. Sorry, trying to read the chat and tell a story. Finish the R8. Eric and I were like, all right, let's go to Florida. And he was like, when? I was like, right now. So we hooked the trailer up to the truck. And this was like a Thursday night. I was like, let's take 3 days, drive straight to Florida and drive straight back, drop the car off and be done with it. So we were in an absolute rush, grabbed everything out of the garage that was left, like the bumpers and stuff that weren't on it, threw all that in the back of the truck, drove it on, strapped it down, bombed to Florida, like no stops at all, which is kind of my favorite thing to do. It's pretty fun to make that like 3 hour trip in 18 hours. You got to absolutely rock and roll. And gas stops only. That's all you're allowed. Unloaded the car Saturday, I think, at Hefner when they were finally there. And because it's 20-ish hours, 18 hours, and you drive straight through the night, leaving Thursday night. That puts you there like late Friday. Drop the car off on Saturday. Talked to Jason for like an hour. Awesome car guy. Absolutely epic. And we had a lot of great discussions, and he was like, I'll get this thing finished up, no problem, we'll get it tuned. So I dropped it off, and the cam followers were missing from the DI pumps. It was still running fine on the low pressure fuel pump, which is pretty funny. It didn't love running, but they gave me a call, and they were like, hey, you still have the old engine? I was like, absolutely. Went out and checked. The cam followers for the DI pumps were still sitting in the valve cover. So I pulled those out, overnighted those to them. They put them in. They're like, runs perfectly. And I was like, all right, that's what I thought. And then they asked if they could replace every single AN line on the car, which is all the lines that connect to the turbo system and stuff. 2 of them were leaking, and they were old, and all the fittings were marred up. And I was like, go for it. So they said, that'll be $1,000. And I was like, yeah, you can have that. So they did that. And it's been 4 months since then, because they had all that done like the first week the car was there. And they've been trying to tune it ever since. And basically, I don't think Hefner ever tuned a V8 twin turbo R8. I think AMS tuned all of those cars for them. So AMS isn't like tuning them for them anymore. So they found another V8 twin turbo car that they had done, and they had that guy ship his ECUs to them. They have those on the bench, and they pulled the tune out of them, and they're trying to load that tune on my car. That's where it's at. And I'll call right after this today, and we'll figure out like exactly what's going on, if it's done or not. The last time I said, if the car's not done soon, I'm going to come get it, because it definitely runs as is, and it's kind of like a wastegate only tune. And I told him to turn the boost down, make sure that the car's safe, and I'll drag it home. There's your R8 story. I want it back right about now, mostly just for the comments. I don't really care if the car comes back soon. They can definitely keep it for a while, but we're gonna bring it back just for you guys. That's the whole reason. Synology NASs are actually really cool. I always wanted to do a Synology, but it's a lot of money. Williston. It's a great product. It's just a lot of money. And this was like the same-ish money. The big Synologies are what? $1,100, $1,500 if you have a bunch of drive bays. This has 36 drive bays and only costs $1,500 because it's used. So that's the answer. I think the Unraid interface looks nice. The Synology interface looked nice. And it really comes down to like how nice the experience is going to be. Sweet. Yeah, I'll just not run Seagate drives. Thanks for your comment, Charles. Good stuff. Is what a good car. 96 to 06 Silverados are obviously amazing. Yeah, I think the Synologies are really good. I've been running an IBM NOS for a very long time. So it is pretty quiet. Yeah, this thing, the fan spun down. Everything except that they're actually backed up a little bit because of that one core that's running at 54%. And no, it doesn't have the CPU power. This can run a ton of VMs, actually. I can just dump VMs onto here. Yes, a shop is on the horizon. I've been looking, trying to get something put together. I'll make a video as soon as we've got something for you guys. That's obviously, I need a place with like at least a lift so that we can actually do engine swaps out the bottom and stuff like that. Yeah, you can hear the fan spinning up right now. This has dual Xeon E5 2640s. M. Slurzai? Sorry if I can't say your name. Thank you for your super chat. The Ninja 250-300, the best beginner sport bike. I don't know. The new 300, Jake has one, 100% Jake, and I love it. Love that. I got on it, and I was like, this is going to be junk. And then I rode it, and it was sweet. It was sweet. I'm not going to run. I actually run VMware Workstation right now. I'm going to dump those VMs on here, and Unraid has its own hypervisor in it, I think. That is kind of the plan. The Wizard is forever away. I don't know if you guys know this. Tyler drives so far. It's like 30, maybe 45 minutes to get to the Wizard's place from here. There's no way I'm dealing with that. I'm not going to drive up there every day. So, yeah, Tyler spends a good hour and a half every time he drives up there for you guys. And then he cuts it in the video, and you're like, wow, that was quick. It's not. It's a drive. Tyler does love driving. Okay, where are we at? We got a notification here. No running virtual machines. Unraid parity sync data rebuild. Rebuild has started. We're still sitting there. It is 1.8% done rebuilding the drive array. Cool. Well, I guess that's all we have to say about this. It's going to take another, like, 7 hours. I would guess about 7 hours if I'm doing the math right there. Carrie, thank you for your super chat. 89 Sierra SLE. Oh, yeah. So you got all that plastic interior and it all breaks and, yep. Oh, yeah. Tell it to use all CPUs and all cores. I'll try that. I've never actually looked into, obviously, like I've said, I've never used Unraid before, so I'm going to go figure it out. It is going to take a long time. 85 at Fiero stuff. Jason, thank you so much for your super chat. I try to crank these vids out every day. I was pretty upset the one that came out today, the tour bus, didn't come out on time because I worked on that all yesterday, and then the file turned out to be like 8 gigs and it took forever to upload, and by the time I was done processing, it was like 12:30 instead of 11:45 when it needed to be done processing. So that was supposed to be yesterday. And then today I can't work on the 350, which is why we're doing this, because it is sleeting outside and I probably can't drive that thing over to the Ninjas. Not to mention I got new parts coming. We've got suspension coming. Lift the Ford with stacks? Nah. Actually, it snowed all day yesterday. Oh, those Pures are sick. That Pure X50, it's all NVMe. Wild, right? So I was driving the F250 yesterday in the snow, and I threw it in 4 high, and it was like there was no snow on the ground at all. It was so much fun. I did donuts, 2-wheel donuts. Don't worry, I'm not going to tear the thing up. And it actually like perfectly rotated around like 1 wheel. So I was out there just ripping donuts. And yes, we were absolutely doing max speeding rods on the 350Z because they reached out and offered them to me for free with a discount code for you guys. So I was like, yeah, we're doing it. I mean, the build's so cheap at this point. Like the whole idea was like, how can you do it for no money? And those struts are only like $300. So we're absolutely putting them back on. They were free. You guys get 15% off whenever they show up. Now you know the next video. This is to store all of my raw footage for all the YouTube videos and everything like that. I keep it all. All right, I'll look at doing the ZFS thing. We'll see. I would like to have a mirror of this. That would be cool. A complete mirror. The retail pricing on this, don't even look at that. Just get on eBay and look at used ones. You want like a used pull out of someone's system. My Plex setup doesn't need that much. My Plex setup needs about 2 terabytes, 2.5 terabytes, I think, is like all the movies I have, even downloading stuff in UHD now. So, I mean, you gotta have a sick Plex setup, and everything's 1080, and now it's all moving to UHD, and of course those files are like 30 gigs each. It's a lot. It's a lot. So you do eat storage quick. Motorcycle build. How about the Helix build? Somebody was talking about the Helix build. We're going to do the Helix jet ski pretty soon. Yeah, UHD is crazy. And what's really bad is it stutters when it's playing back over the Chromecast. That computer's fast. It's not a transcode issue. The Super Mac supercomputer? Yeah, absolutely. I remember all the old like Epic Mac things were so cool. I would assume the graphics card is transcoding. I've got a 1080 Ti in there still because I missed out on the 3080s. Which was too bad. Mud Dauber, thank you so much for your super chat. Absolutely. Gotta get these videos out every day. I sure try. Goldwing's not sold because I'm not trying. It's never been listed anywhere. I've just mentioned it on YouTube. So I assumed that somebody would hit me up and be like, hey, I'd like to have a new Goldwing. I got about 1 email about it. And I think I told him a price and he didn't want it. That was the last thing I've ever tried to, last time I've really tried to sell a Goldwing. I love the Goldwing. It's so good, but it's just expensive. That's the problem. LS swap donut day, F250 donut day, because we got the snow. No, I don't want to LS swap GMT 400. It's actually a lot of work. Yeah, it bolts in, but it's still a lot of work. And 350Z into all-wheel drive, I don't think that's a thing. I edit all my videos in Final Cut Pro. 4K HDR is awesome. I got the new iPhone that shoots HDR, but it has problems with Instagram and Facebook because they haven't fixed those yet. Goldwing definitely did make Iron Butt when I did the Atlanta trip. It takes me about 3 hours a night to edit a video. About 1 hour and a half for the edit, I would say, depending on how much content's there. and then another hour and a half for YouTube to upload, process, and me to finish the metadata and the thumbnails and stuff like that. Obviously, go Chiefs. This is Kansas. 2012 Nissan Maxima. That's a great car. It has the CVT, kind of unfortunate, but it has such a good engine. BQ, obviously. I kind of love Nissans to death. I don't know. You're gonna have issues with your transmission probably. Well, we have been on here for an hour, and I need to go eat at this point and go get some screws for my hard drive bays and stuff like that, and then watch this raid rebuild and go through all the Unraid options. And I don't want to waste you guys' time while I'm sitting there looking at options. So that's kind of my plan. I'm gonna go do that, and there won't be another video today, unfortunately, because I don't have anything to work on because the parts are not here for the 350. And that's all I want to do is finish the suspension and align it and go rip it. And I can't believe I left the traction on when I tried to do donuts. That was totally my bad. But I bet it does donuts really well. I've never had issues doing donuts in a 350. They rip them. So after that, we'll get it back out there, shut the traction off, hopefully rip some fat drifts with some smoke, and tear up those Achilles tires. They were literally built to be teared up, right? 3 of sticky tape for the win. You're right. The Velcro for the win. Somewhere around here, I have the industrial Velcro that comes in those big strips. I don't see it, though. It's around here somewhere. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming to the live. We're going to have some fun. Maybe we'll do some more tech stuff down the road, but I think that is it for today. And thank you, everybody, for your super chats. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. You have to actually click end.